conversations, unedited, unfiltered, and unapologetic. So, as you know, I love your comments. I always start my show, every single show, reading your comments. And today, I want to spotlight Zoe. Zoe, you commented on the show, Focus on What You Can Change. And you said, this has been a life changing principle for me. Ooh, I love that. Ever since I started focusing on what I can control rather than what I can't control, I realized that I have more than enough in my control to play with to make awesome things happen in my life. End quote. Yes, Zoe, that's exactly what I was saying. You are my sister. And Marilyn, you commented on the episode, How to Bounce Back from Rejection. And your comment was, quote, hashtag BOL, breakthrough out loud. I love it. You said, quote, man's rejection is God's protection, explanation point, explanation point. I recently experienced this at work, but I realized it was actually a blessing in disguise. Come on, sister, because it didn't fit in God's plan for my life anyway. Now, I love your comments. Please, please keep them coming. It's the way that I connect with you, the way you connect with me, and the way I get to spotlight my tribe during each show. So keep those comments coming.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday night
Wow.
room.
How can you stay humble, as you amass more success? How can you stay humble while owning your brilliance? I believe that there's two very separate intentions running here. Number one, own your brilliance. Don't question it. You don't have to grandize it. You don't have to highlight it. You don't have to have your brilliance and your talent spew over onto other people and minimize their greatness. When you live in your light, you don't have to promote it or diminish it. You simply live in it. I notice a lot of times when people are successful, they have a tendency to want to remind you that they are successful. They remind you in the way they speak to you. They remind you in the fact that they're always coaching you. They remind you in however the status thing that they do. To me, that's not owning your brilliance or your success. That's trying to prove it. That's trying to remind you of it. And a lot of times people want to remind you or prove to you something when they're still wondering if it's true. So, number one, own your light unapologetically. Like, don't try to dim your light, nor should you try to turn it up. Just let it be. Rise the tide from who you're being. Rise the tide from your service. When I say, nor should you try to turn it up, that's not saying don't tap into the greatest version of you. That means don't artificially try to turn it up so everyone in the room knows that you're great. You don't have to do that. You don't have to say it. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to try to remind me of it. Just be it. But by the same token, don't try to hide it. Don't try to shrink it. Don't reduce it. Don't get nervous about it because other people in your presence can't quite handle that light. To the same degree that you don't need to announce it and spew it onto people, is to the same degree that you better not hide it. You
Alrighty,
better not
guys, you
hide it.
heard her right there, right?
Thank
That's
you.
my girl, Lisa
I am
Nichols.
a genius.
She's talking about
So
not
wake up
letting
every
your light
morning
go.
remembering
And let me
that
just
you
close
are
this right here. That's our
undefeated.
YouTube. I'm actually live right now. So if you want to see my face, pop on through here on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. Hello, and happy Wednesday evening. I am Sarcina. Break, don't quit. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you, girlfriend? I don't know if she's able to speak. Maybe she'll be able to speak a little later. But welcome everyone to the space. I am Starcine, and we're here every Wednesday night about 6:30 going live. And we've been talking about goal setting, mastermind inspired by the book 12 Weeks in a Year. And today we're going to be talking about healthy living. Everyone needs this in their life. So if you want to get into the conversation, jump on stage. Hi, Chima. I want each person to introduce themselves if they can. I am Starcina, life and health coach. And I am that person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing when it comes to your health, when it comes to your wellness. And today I really want to tap into what it is that you find that you need in your life. When I started this journey, health and wellness, I really thought it was just to lose weight. Am I the only person who said, hey, I just want to lose weight or I want to do something, and later on you find out it's something else? For me, I looked in my closet. Hold on a second. Mommy, that's a little loud. You might have to be quiet. Sorry, guys. When I looked in the closet, I noticed I had clothes from size 12, 14, 16, and went all the way up. And I realized that I wanted to look better, right? And what I did was I started on the fitness journey, and I would just take classes, and I lost about 50 pounds. And then after I lost the 50 pounds, I realized it was a little bit more for me. And I started teaching classes. I loved teaching classes. And then the more I dived into the practice and teachings and all that stuff, I realized it was a lot deeper for me. Welcome to the room, Ryan. I realized the main reason why I love fitness so much was because my father had passed away at the age of 49 from a massive heart attack. 49 years old. Like, that's really young to pass away, especially from something that could be preventable, right? Looking at him, you'd think he was healthy. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in America. Put in the chat or give me some indication here if you know anyone who has high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, or they're overweight or obese. Do you know anyone like that? Let me know. I want to see in the chat here. Because if so, your chances of dying early are really high up there. I mean, I had like a screaming match with my mother about, it was probably 10 years ago. And I was like, do you want to die? Because this is something that can be prevented. So tonight, good morning, Lord. Hi, Carla. Yay, Brittany's back. Tonight, we're going to be talking about healthy living. We have some professionals on here that have been through the journey. I'm so super excited. And I run an online fitness boutique studio. The onlineness of it came during COVID, because before COVID, I was teaching over 20 classes a week at about 7 different gyms, from yoga to spin to you name it, I was doing it. And then during COVID, everyone's life changed, right? Everyone's life changed. And I started teaching these classes online. And then from then I said, you know what? I want a little bit more, because I love to train. I was listening to a training today, and it says, when you learn more, you earn more. And I don't know about you, I love earning more money, right? I love learning. So during COVID, I decided to take a life and health coaching course. And in this life and health coaching course, I learned so much. And it's deeper than just the excess weight, right? And ladies, if you're over 50, over 40, things really get wild and challenging and hard for you, right? So it goes into your traumatides. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this happens, life-changing experiences occur. And when it comes to fitness, I'm the pro at that. Welcome to the room, Andra. So I want us to get started on today's topic. I want to welcome everyone here. I see Iman, Audria, Adam, Ava, Ryan, Stacy, Joshua, Natasha, DJ Slim, Claudia, Patty, Chima. Come on up here, Chima. You know you always come up to the stage. I see Renee, I see Robert, I see Matho, I see Christine, Gwendolyn, Mark, Darren, Big, Bobby, Dr. Jilly, Vicky, James, Kenneth, forever. Love it. I got you all up here. So I want us to start with our peeps. Got to mute yourself there, Renee. Yeah, there we go. We're going to start with our introductions. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat. We're talking about healthy living, inside, outside, mind, body, soul. It's all a thing, right? So we're going to get started. Renee, jump in. Introduce who you are. Then we'll go Susanna, Britt, and then Carla.
Good evening. I am Renee, and a supporting partner at Stars. And I do all the things to empower everyone that comes through our full doors.
Okay, you're really Renee, you're like all over the place. Right?
I love their best life. Tina, can you please mod me?
You are modded, Renee. All right, Susanna, you are next. Go ahead, Susanna.
Susanna Cabrera. I'm a business owner, and I'm just pretty much a part of Tina's part. And yes, I love everything that she brings on board, and especially planning the week and just having a better plan for your business. And that's what I'm all about. And that's the reason why I joined Tina and the things that she shares. Thank you, Tina.
I love it. I love it. I got to give Susanna a big shout out. Let me tell you guys, it's all about community, right? I met Susanna in Toastmasters virtually, and we started hanging out with each other, talking on there. And Susanna, you got to talk about your little franchise, girlfriend. I want to hear my hot dog, hot dog, hot dog.
That is right. I went from card to store. And the way, what I do right now, I'm about nutritious meals for the community. And that brings so much more pride into my heart because I know that I'm proud of what I present the community. And yes, I was street, I don't know if it was a street vendor. I was selling hot dogs on the street, but then I knew that was not where I was at, and that's when I decided to change. I received a great opportunity, and here I am. Thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you so much for that, Susanna. And let me tell you, if you're listening to this right now and you have a dream and you have a goal and there's something that you want in life with people, even if you don't know them, right? Susanna, I literally saw a little box in the Toastmasters room and she reached out to me on Instagram. She actually was watching my stories and she's like, hey, I'd like you as a mentor. And then I introduced her to other people in my tribe. And when you surround yourself with these people, it's like your mind grows, your ideas. She went from selling hot dogs on the corner. If you've ever been to California, and I got so excited, Suzanne, I think I told you, when I saw you, I was like, hot dog, hot dog. I'm like, that's Susanna. Well, it used to be you. And she had a dream of bettering her life, not just for herself, but for her family. Now she has her own franchise. So congrats. Brick, don't quit. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello, honey. You doing today?
Oh my God.
goodness, I missed you.
I'm screaming right now because I remember when we first met in Florida a couple of years ago. Now you live in Texas, right? Or are you in Costa Rica? Where are you now? Oh.
I'm in Atlanta. Well, I live in Texas and Houston and Atlanta. My practices are in Houston. So I live all places. So huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm in Atlanta right now, was in Houston last week, and girl, I had a whole baby, so I have a big running puppy.
Oh my God.
7 months. Oh, love being a mom. So I did that a while and just opened my third healthcare practice called Serenity Psychiatry. So continue to grow, in real estate and healthcare, just helping people build their own practices. So I'm excited.
I love it. And tell us about these practices. And this, guys, this is another person I met here on Clubhouse. We met in Florida. She has health and wellness. She has amazing personality. Tell us about your practices.
Thank you so much. So right now I specialize in different practices. Oncology offices in Houston, but my newest practice is a psychiatry. So we all know that life is not meant to be done alone, right? And there's a lot of people that's addicted to opioids, and we all know people that's addicted to alcohol and all those things. So I partnered with an amazing psychiatrist named Dr. Saeed, and we created a telehealth concierge psychiatry office. So you're able to see a psychiatrist within 7 days of the comfort of your own home. So we are helping grow the community, education of mental health, and helping gain healing one patient at a time.
I love that. And just to confirm, psychiatrists, those are the ones that can prescribe medication, correct?
Yes, we're doing adult Adderalls if needed. We have the Klonopins, the benzos, just depending on what the client needs are. And I've literally hired this psychiatrist for the last 9 years working in my personal clinics in Houston. And we decided to kind of expand, our scope. So I have several mental health agencies. We made $3 million last year at one of my clinics. So I'm super excited about that. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see all this kind of stuff that I do in regards to that. But yeah, it's Serenity Psychiatry, SIRAN. You can find us at serenpsychiatry.com.
I love it. Congratulations. All right, and I see Chima up here. Chima, if you want to introduce yourself, because you're up on the stage and we're going to jump right into the conversation, just unmic and go for it if you want to, Chima.
Hey, hi, Tina.
Hey!
What's this name? Tina or Tina?
So it depends on who you are and where you are, I feel like I kind of know you, so you can call me Tina.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, my name's Chima. I think I live my life empowering young people mainly. That's kind of my goal or my mission. So I want to, when I die, I want to be remembered for that empowerment aspect of young people. That's why I do what I do. I love arts, as you probably know. I have an arts NGO and I engage lots of African artists in my work, but I also reach out to kids through workshops to do creative things attached to the arts. You probably didn't know that part of me, but that's the part that I really enjoy. And that's why I want to empower young people through this project. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. So if you're watching me on the screen and you're like, why is she doing that? I have the worst headache in the world. I went on a school trip with my niece today, and you ever forget something, guys? Like you forget something you don't like to do, and that was me today. This cute little girl, she kept grabbing my hand. Long story short, I went on this ride, and I know I don't do those crazy, stupid rides, and I'm up in the air, and it's like jerking us down and jerking us down, and now I've got like the worst headache. So I just want to say that if you're watching, like, what is wrong with her? But that just want to share that with you guys. Okay, so today's topic is all about healthy living, and I want input from all the peeps here. I'm going to give you 5 different tips. The first tip when it comes to healthy living is having SMART goals. And I'm going to open it up to the floor first. What, in regards to healthy living, my specialty is definitely the mindset and the movement, super important. And when we say SMART goals, I mean like being super specific. So let's talk about that S right there. When I say specific, it depends on what you want, right? Some people want to be healthy when it comes to their medication, high blood pressure, cholesterol. Some people want to look sexy. Some people want to be stronger, mental health. But you have to, first of all, be specific what it is that you want to change or get better in your life. Do you guys disagree, agree? Talk to me, give me your input. My peeps on stage.
100%. And I believe that in order to have the best quality of your life, to be out and about, you should work out because you need your body to be fully capable of doing all the amazing things you want to do.
Thank you. And I apologize, Carla. I see you up here and I forgot to get you to introduce yourself. Can you reply to that and introduce yourself as well, Carla?
I am Carla, and I'm currently a college student, and honest. And more about me.
What are your thoughts about the specific, when I was talking about the S?
I'm doing a Toastmaster, which I'm super happy about, and the S to be specific. I want to lose 10 pounds by my birthday, which is next month.
Oh, wow. Thank you for telling me that. When's your birthday, girlfriend?
I'm not feeling.
Because it's near my sister's birthday. You told me that. It's either near her, May 28th, 27th?
You gotta share time I went.
27.
27th. And the reason why she says she's not telling me because she's told me a bajillion times. All right. Specific. Being specific what it is that you want with your life. Chima, agree, disagree? What are your thoughts and comments?
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
All right.
I think it's very, well, it's just straightforward, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is. Now, the M with the measurable. I love how Carla said she wants to lose 10 pounds by her birthday. If you're not measuring what you want, it's probably not going to happen. For example, if you say, I want to move, well, when do you move? Where do you want to move? And if maybe you don't really know where, I'm talking to myself right now, but at least have a date of when. Because I remember when I was speaking with you before, Britt, this was a couple of years ago, I don't know. You were talking about, I think it was Costa Rica or somewhere else. Let's talk about how you grew your business from last year to now. How did you do that, measuring and being specific? Can you share with us, Brett? Maybe she's not able to talk. And I'm not.
I can share.
Go ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't say growing business, but growing project-wise, yes. I mean, last year, just before I went to Texas in October, it was kind of like a place where my goals, my vision, my forward thinking was a stalling point because I was trying to wait for the perfect time for things to fall into place. And that time doesn't happen. It just doesn't exist. So it took my sister to sit me down and give me a proper talking to. When I went to visit, hey, look, you've been working on a project really long. Wow, you're never going to have the perfect moment.
Yes.
Yes. You have to make that moment yourself. The only way to make it is by starting somewhere. You've done enough work to get things right. You need start and you'll find things start falling into place. So that was what happened to me. And I started engaging much more, started talking to a lot more people. And at the rate it's going now, I'm just, every day there's somebody new that's coming on board and supporting what we're doing. So I couldn't be much happier. If it was Glenn, the meeting was on, we had a long session. And it was amazing what we exchanged. It's just happening, so I'm thankful. I changed that my strategy to that.
Chima, I love that. And Nancy loves it too. And I just want to really say it again. You know, he said he knew someone who wanted to do a business. He's like, hey, you've been practicing or doing it long enough. When are you actually going to do something? And I think sometimes in our lives, we just keep waiting for that perfect moment. Like, I know there are people like, well, I'm not going to have kids until I have X amount of money, or I'm not going to do such and such until I have, you know, I'm not saying be irresponsible, but sometimes you can just be so shook and so scared. It's just never going to be able to happen. And, you know, everyone here has a seat at the table. Welcome to the room, Q. Well, Breakfast of Champions, that's the space. We're here Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. You're going to get motivation, education, and inspiration for your mind, body, soul, your business, your finances. Hello, Nina. Welcome to the space. Today, we're talking about healthy habits, healthy living using the 12 weeks in a year blueprint. There's an amazing book, 12 weeks in a year. And pretty much what the book shares is instead of waiting the whole year to get your goals written and to get them done, you give yourself 12 months. You break it down by the quarter, right? And we are in Q2. Q1 is over and done with. Time goes so fast. Did you achieve what you planned on achieving? Did you stick where you were? And I was speaking with someone yesterday, and I love her everything of her business. And I was asking her some questions, and she was like, well, you know, because sometimes I tend to want to do so many things. Am I the only person who wants to do one thing and then another and then another? And she says, you're not alone. I feel the same way. And she says, well, maybe you want to get into 12 weeks in a year. And I was like, girl, I do that. I've read the book, been there, done that. And in the book, it says, don't add anything. So for example, this is Q2. And if you have not done this already, I want to invite you to plan for Q2. What is that? April, May, June, January, March, April, May, and June. What do you plan on doing in your business, in your life, in your family, in your relationships in the next 3 months? Write it down, make it solid, make it clear, put it on a piece of paper, tell somebody, visualize it. If it's to start your business, if it's to lose 10 pounds or get rid of 10 pounds, if it's to make 10,000 extra dollars, write it down and make it clear. SMART goals. S, we said to be specific, exactly what you want to do. The M, making it measurable. And the A, that's achievable, right? Renee, you want to hop on and talk about the A? Renee, I think the A is achievable, right? We cannot hear you. I don't know. Go from Clubhouse.
Yes. Pardon me. I was muted and on my laptop.
Just turn your volume down on your laptop. So right now we're talking about A for achievable.
Achievable goals are very important because if you set things that are realistic, they help keep you motivated to achieve the longer term goal. So for me, that was all about when I started my fitness journey, I had the goal of losing pounds, which I did incredibly when I started the program with you. I lost about 60 pounds in about, for me, it was about 3 months, but every person is different. Then I had the goal of smaller clothing sizes. And I had a goal of becoming more fit in the gym. And by that, I mean, and I'm still working towards that, increasing my muscle mass. So all of those have kept me motivated and measurable goals. And for that reason, none of my fitness journey has ever seemed like work.
Right.
And it's a journey. It's not, it doesn't have a beginning and an end point. For me, it's a lifestyle.
Yes, I like that. And that's what we're talking about today, family and friends. It's a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. Anyone want to add on to the topic of achievable before I go on to the next letter? If so, on mic, say your name, comment. If not, we're moving forward, okay? Today we're talking about healthy living. I'm actually doing an event May 11th. Oh, this is going to be such a great event. I got the idea today, and if I would have had more time, Renee would have had a landing page at the top. But if you're interested, DM me. Let me tell you about this event. Okay, ladies? First of all, at the end of the event, there's going to be a dance class. I got stuck on Instagram this morning looking at my daughter's page, and my daughter is a professional dancer, and I forget sometimes how amazing she was. And I was looking at her page, and she has, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see in the stories, there's like, I put up a bunch of dance videos, and one of them is like the sexy dancing. And I'm like, who wants to get their sexy back? Does anyone want to get their sexy back? So, I'm going to do an event May 11th, and it's going to be about healthy eating. And it's going to be, in the beginning, I'm going to talk to tell you some tips, tricks, stats, strategies, things to help you get focused for your life. And then at the end, we're going to have a dance class, and it's going to be so much fun. Nina, were you blinking and I forgot to say to see you, hon? If so, open your mic.
Yes, hi. My name is Nina, and one of my measurable goals is to work on losing weight because I have arthritis, and I have no cartilage in my knee, so I have to prep for surgery. So I'm going to work on my body and getting fit and try to April, May, and June, try to knock down 10 pounds.
I love it. Nina, Carla, I want you to tap into Nina because I know Nina. She's absolutely amazing. She's got a podcast, and we need that community family, right? We need that support because sometimes the people around you, they want to support you, but they just don't know how, especially when it comes to getting rid of the fat, especially when it comes to stopping the sugar, stopping the carbs, all that great stuff. When I first got on this fitness journey, right, I wanted to lose the weight, but I didn't know how. This was before I was a personal trainer. I didn't know. I'd get up on Sunday, I'd be like, okay, Monday, I'm going to start my diet. That's how everyone is, right? They say they're going to start their diet. And then Monday would come and I'd start eating. I'm like, oh man, I forgot. I was supposed to start my diet today. It was like that every Monday. So once I got into it, right, I was into the whole thing. And then I was at the gym, right? And I'm training. And you still don't know what the fudge you're doing. It's like you're at the gym, you walk around, you do this. So then I was going to get a personal trainer. But that was like $125 a session, something I did not have. So I was just exercising all the time, watching YouTube videos, whatever they were doing, I was doing. And then once I finally lost the weight, I was like, I love this. I wanted to help others. And I noticed when I was in the gym, Nina, the people that I was training, because I was a trainer at New York Sports Club, the ones that could afford the personal training, I'm not saying they didn't need it, but they were not in bad health, right? The people that truly needed the personal training could not afford it. And my heart was like, I really want to help. I really want to help because again, because of my father, because of my family that I see on the struggle bus. So we have our online fitness studio and we have a community. So I post all the time different things you can do. And you have to surround yourself with those people because you're going to fall off the struggle bus and you got to get right back up. Carla, I would love for you to share a moment that you had where you felt like you weren't going to make it through and someone from the tribe helped you. And great example, I called my girlfriend this morning. We have a goal for the next month. I'm going back to Jersey. And I was like, okay, when I come back, you're going to be 10 pounds less. We're going to go to an event. We're going to get dressed up. And I called her today and I said, how you doing? She was like, I'm doing horrible. Everything was horrible, 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 horrible. And if you're in that place right now in your fitness journey and things are going horrible, horrible, just stop. Pause, breathe, give yourself a little grace. Realize it will be okay. And let's make little steps. So I said to her, let's start off. What's the major thing? And one thing for her is alcohol, and it's not crazy alcohol. I guess it's corona. I don't know what the heck it is. And I said, well, at first it was supposed to be just 1 day a week or whatever. I said 3 days. Now I said, let's make it 1 day. Let's start with not drinking 1 day because some people at the end of the day, they're so stressed. It's like, give me a glass of wine. Give me a glass of wine, right? It clears your mind. It makes you feel good, but you have to have these little baby steps. And if you don't have issues with drinking, like if that's not your thing, pick something else. Maybe it's drinking more water, but take little tiny baby steps. And then I said, let's focus on going to the gym once a week. Some people will come, I'm going to work 5 days. I'm going to work out 6 days. And then you do 1 day and then you quit. Little baby steps. So with that being said, Carla, I want you to share with us what happened because you're doing great, girlfriend, doing good, doing bad. One tip that helped you get back on the bus. Go for it, Carla.
The one thing that helps me is just the sharing my struggles, and as a tribe, we thing that I love about us as a tribe, we help one another. To help one another, and we just pour into one another. And for me, I struggle with depression and anxiety, and just knowing that you have that support, and that gives back to me.
I love that, Carla. And I want to tap into something she just said, because if it would have been a month ago or 2 months ago, she wouldn't have let those words come out of her throat chakra. She said something with depression and anxiety. We have to face our fears. We have to face the things that we're afraid of. Because if not, guess what? They're going to stay inside of you and you're never going to be able to win. So she said, I don't know if she said she did or she is. And then once you realize that, you are going to charge through. So if you're coming through today, we're talking about healthy living, the lifestyle. We said the S was for specific, the M measurable, A achievable, and R, I'm guessing that's realistic. Is that what the R is for, Renee, in SMART goals? Realistic. Yes. As you heard Renee say, she lost 60 pounds in 3 months. All right. First of all, when you're really big, it's easier to lose a lot of weight fast in the beginning. Like the first 10 pounds, I'll say for most people, can come off very quickly because it's mostly water weight. If you change a few things, you can drop 10 pounds like this. All right. And you can do that one by intermittent fasting, not eating late at night, drinking more water, getting some rest, not stressing. Those 4 to 5 things can get you to lose weight. Get rid of weight very quickly if you're very big. Now, if you don't have that much weight to get rid of, it's going to be a little more challenging. So be realistic with your goals. Be realistic with yourself. For example, for me, I've been working out and on this fitness life for 8, 9, 10 years, full time. When I say full time, working out most days of the week, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. It's my medicine, right? It's my medicine. It makes me feel clean. It makes me feel whole. It makes me feel pure. But some people don't have that mojo. They don't like that. In order to change the way you look, you have to work out most days of the week. Most days is 5 to 6 days. If you want to change the way your belly looks, if you want to change the way your arms look, you got to get heavier weights and you have to work out most days of the week. Before we go to the next one, 80% of the way you look is by the foods that you're eating. All right. If you're eating processed foods, if you're eating sugar, it's just going to stay on you. The other 10% are your genes. If your family naturally has big legs, I'm talking about my family here, guess what? You're more apt to have the same thing as well. And the last 10% is exercise. You can exercise till the cows come home, but if you're eating crap, guess what, my friend? It's going to look and feel that way. So that's when it comes to the whole body and that whole thing right there. So set realistic goals for yourself. And when you join our tribe, like Carla said, it's just not me. I don't have all the answers. I love the fact that we have a community of ladies and the coaches, right? We have Chris who comes through and she teaches a mindful movement class. And today she did the shoulders and the arms. So there's different things that you need to do. And you heard Nina say, she's got the arthritis. When you get older, different things in your body starts to ail because of what you're eating, right? The inflammation, the extra weight. Yes, your freaking knees, I'm talking to myself right now. Yes, your freaking knees are going to hurt if you have too much weight on them. I had gained 20, 30 pounds perhaps in the past year and a half. Various reasons, I don't know, maybe turning 50, maybe being sad, maybe being happy. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Why do my knees hurt? And my daughter's like, well, Mom, you gained some weight. So when you get rid of that excess weight, when you get rid of the inflammation in your body, you feel so much better. All right. Anyone, I see we have Dr. Eduardo. Tap in on the conversation. We're talking about healthy living. What can you add to the combo? All right, let's move on. We talked about specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time. Oh, go ahead. That's okay. Go ahead. We want to hear from you.
Oh, I love that. No, I'm enjoying this. I saw Breakfast with Champions and I'm like, because I'm on it for you. So it's fantastic to see. What I get, gosh, I don't even know. If I started sharing, I would cry.
I want to hear it. Talk to us.
I don't know about stuff. Some of the things I just, I block. I have a lot of stress thing going on. So I think that some of the things that interfere with my daily habits of exercise and eating right is, stress for missing my children or stress for financial strain, I mean, I see my kids on the weekend, been divorced now for 3 years and 3 months and 2 days and 14 hours. So it's hard. And then that throws me off because I used to be extraordinarily active with everything I do, and right now I'm just fluctuating, and then of course company growth has been challenging. I won't talk about it because it's significant amounts of money. Some people don't realize that there are companies like this that make a lot of money, and when we get a hit of a substantial amount, I feel it. These are delays. It's got a 1.5 delay. We won't see that money for another year, and that stuff takes toll on me. It interrupts. It interrupts the take care of me stuff. And I have to process all of that. It's kind of where I'm at. It's like, I don't even talk to you about this stuff. Some people I know don't understand. That my circles of people friends don't understand. Where do I go? Where do I go to talk about it? Where do I go to say, hey, I played this much, and we still have this much coming in, and stuff. And if you notice, even in my conversation, nothing is about, well, are you keeping active in my exercises? No, I stopped. Am I keeping active in my, paying attention to what I eat? No, it's my comfort food right now. And I don't like it because it's setting me down the wrong path.
I want to really give you space right now and say thank you for sharing. I can feel your energy, and I know how great it is to release, right? Especially for a man, because most men feel they have to be strong, they have to not share. And when you share, it makes things so much better for you, whether you realize it or not. We're talking about healthy living here, and a lot of people don't get rid of that excess weight because of stress. And sometimes you could be stressed and not even realize it. I remember a while ago, my daughter says, Mom, you're probably stressed. And I would always say, I'm not stressed, because I know it's a bad thing. I was like lying to myself, right? I was really stressed, but I was saying I wasn't. And stress, it's going to raise your cortisol levels. You're not going to be able to get rid of the excess weight. It's just going to make things horrible, right? So that's one aspect. And then, like the depression thing, whether it's clinical depression, whether it's being sad, I can't imagine, having a child, being divorced, and not being able to be with your child. Like that's got to be one of the most horrible things. Dr. Eduardo, I remember my father died at 49, and I was so close to my dad, and I ended up in a psychiatric hospital for 8 weeks. My son was probably 6 weeks old, if that much, and I'm in this psychiatric hospital. And I wasn't able to see my two children. My daughter was 2, and my son was like 6 weeks. And as a mother, they say you go through these postmortem, whatever. And I remember I was in the hospital, and it was probably the 2nd or 3rd week I was there. And I was like, I want to see my kids. All I wanted to do was to see my kids, to hold my kids. And they were like, okay. So I got all excited, and the day came that I got to see them. And I'm in the room, and I'm waiting. And they had a door with a window, and the window was probably 10 inches big. And they're like, there you go, you can see them. And I just about broke down, screaming, kicking, because I thought I was going to be able to hold my kids and kiss my kids. But no, I'm looking at them through this glass window, So I remember so clearly, like if I was to put my mind into that state, it feels like it's a dream. Now that I'm, feeling these things, it's like there's no possible way I could have gone through all this stuff in that hospital. Like the hospital room, I remember it was cold. It was all white. It just seems like it's like there's no way I could have lived that life. So Dr. Eduardo, I want to thank you for sharing that, because being pulled away from your children is horrible. And then the business, oh my gosh, money. I don't watch the news, but I hear like the economy and things are bad, and money, we don't need money, but it sure does make things a lot easier, right? So I want to invite you, if you're having these feelings of stress, of depression, of, not having enough money, just breathe and enjoy all the other wonderful things that God has here for you. Because if you're stressing and thinking about that stuff, you're never going to get the money anyway. Go outside and let the sun hit your face. Put your bare feet in the grass, on the sand, and realize that God has got your back. All right. Look at your story, look at your situation, and look at the goodness in it. Look what came out of it. Look at the strength that came into it. Dr. Eduardo, who's ever listening to this right now, there's a man who's listening to this, who's watching this, and they're like, oh, I can speak up. So thank you so much. I'm like rambling now. I do apologize. Thank you so much. Did that help you at all or add value to you, Dr. Eduardo?
Having the conversation and being here. But you are right. I mean, being taken from your children is a nightmare. I mean, it's difficult because I from my perspective, the story is the narrative is different. From my perspective, the narrative is different from what the others see. I see my former wife. She went into postpartum depression, and it tripled for every child. It got worse and worse and worse.
Mm.
And my mom saw it. She says, hey, she's postpartum depression. You need to get help for that. And I even though I'm a psychologist, I didn't study that. And so all I could do was I'll be compassionate and try to encourage her for that. But she didn't agree with me. And it's been really challenging. I wrote a book about it. I haven't even published it. The book's done. I had it edited and everything's ready to go, and I'm hoping it'll help people who have who are married or even are not, and if they have partners who struggle with postpartum, that they might learn something or gain some value from my life experiences. And I shared it all. It's dumped into 14 chapters. I a year ago I read the whole Bible. I'm reading it again right now. I finished another book. 6-day devotional, all focused on God. I literally am at church 3 times a week. So I'm there. It's hard. It's still hard, but the other things that pull me in are those moments where the stress hits me so. I should worry hard, but I go to places nice and to distract myself. It's hard. It's hard, and what keeps me aware of things and keeps me moving forward is I am a psychologist, so I understand these changes in life. But just because I have the book now doesn't mean that I'm perfect and I can't solve my own problems if I don't. So
I love it. Britt, I want you to chat, but before you do, Dr. Eduardo, I posted something today on my Instagram. I'm a pageant girl, pageant mom, and for those of you may know, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I don't know if she was Miss America or something. This woman, she unlived herself, committed suicide, and her mom was talking about her today, and she was saying how when she was alive, she had tried to kill herself before. And the mom, was talking to her, and she said that she wrote a book, the daughter, she wrote a book before she died. And, and in her letter, she said to her mom, I love you. You did an awesome job. You're amazing. And like the people that were in her inner circle knew that she had depression, but she didn't want the outside people to know. And she was just holding it in. And her mom, they asked the mom, well, do you feel bad? And the mom was like, no, because she knows like she had an issue. And again, I'm not saying I don't get depression, but I understand it's a chemical imbalance. Maybe Britt, you can talk about this just a bit, but we have to, keep our eyes open and really connect. Oh, I know what I was going to say. One of my clients, she was a doctor and she was everywhere. Doctor, oh my gosh, what's her name? I'm getting a brain freeze. Thank you. Dr. Emerald. And if you're on this Clubhouse app, beautiful Dr. Emerald. Did you know her or see her in the rooms, in the spaces? Anyone on stage? If so, just flash your mic. It does. Yes. So she was my client and she was amazing. She would have her daughter Zoe. She did coaching with me, and we'd get on the Zoom call, and she was going through a divorce, horrible divorce, kind of like, Eduardo, like you were saying. But I remember whenever she'd get on the call, her daughter would jump on her and hug her. And she would try to have the session. I'm like, no, stop. Let's reschedule this. Go play with your daughter, because that time is precious. And I remember I said to her once, I was like, girl, Okay, I didn't say it like that. That's just my saying. But I was like, how are you dealing with all this stuff? Because, she would tell me these things and she just had this beautiful smile on her face. And then she said she needed some time off. And then, long story short, she unlived herself. And she was a doctor. She was like, and like you said, people probably don't know. They're afraid to talk. They're afraid to express themselves. Britt, can you chime in on this conversation if you guys are coming through? We're talking about healthy living, being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound with your things. Would you like to add to the conversation from clients or things you've seen in your business? I'm not sure if you're able to speak. If so, on mic. If not, it's okay.
It's interesting because in the ups and downs, I have more ups and downs. So this definitely goes to all of us. I have a lot more ups and downs. It's just there. Taking that moment, you mentioned the word breathing. Taking that moment to breathe, absolutely. But it also is remembering the things that I have learned from like Les Brown and other motivational speakers throughout my whole life, and the phrases that I've studied, and those all help. They absolutely help, and they all contribute to that mental stability. But it doesn't. There's still going to be times that you're down, and I think that it's important that talk about it. I think that's important that we can't always be 100% strong. In fact, that's kind of big in my perspective. And it's okay. I think it's important for us to be human, and to reach out. That's why when I saw the group here, I tried to immediately just to hear you guys talk about things and share different perspectives. I can always learn something new. I can always gain, some knowledge that can remind me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Nina.
Even in the eating.
I love it. We have about 15 more minutes. If you're in the audience and you want to add into the conversation, come on up. Nina, I see you blinking. Please share, Mama.
Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I just wanted to add that on my podcast, I educate my listeners that it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to not go and get help. So I'm always transparent. I'm always educating about the subject of mental health, the mental illness, and I'm always transparent about my story with having bipolar disorder, so I could save lives one life at a time. So we have to just keep this conversation going and allow people to talk about this topic, because if we don't talk about it, we're not going to get anywhere, and people are going to keep doing things like committing suicide or hurting other people. You know what I mean? So that's why I do my podcast, and I do it for educational purposes, and I do it so that I can have an impact on those who are affected by mental illness.
Okay, thank you. Carla, please make sure you tap into Nina. Maybe you can be a guest on her show. So before we get out of here, I want to give you guys some tips and tricks and strategies. And if you have any, Britt, if you're able to chat at any time, I'd love for you to unmic, because you've got a whole business around this whole thing. And I didn't even think the conversation would go down this route, but that's what I love about these open spaces, right? When it comes to healthy living, it's not only the foods that you're eating, it's not only the exercise you're doing, but it's your mental state, right? Your spirituality. We didn't even talk about that. I wanted my girl Melody to come through, but your spirituality and your faith are so important. It's going to help you so much, right? And I know there's some people who have different beliefs. They might be mad at God. They may have all these things going on in their head, but you just have to really, really tap into that faith. And I say that for myself because I've been through a lot of things. So I want to give you, if anyone wants to speak before I get into these little tips to get you out of here on mic, say your name, add on. Otherwise, tips, tricks, strategies, all that wonderful stuff to support you on this healthy living journey. Don't forget, May 11th, I'm having a free event. Upgrade for the dance class would be $25. That's May 11th. I don't have a time yet, but it's coming. DM me now if you want the free tickets. The first thing that you want to do in your circle, in your community, if you notice that someone is doing something out of the norm, if they're doing something, saying something, and it's like, they're not normally like that, just check in on them. All right. It may be nothing. It may be something, but check on something if they're doing something out of the norm, because that could be them subconsciously reaching out for help, reaching out for support. I loved how Dr. Eduardo said, being happy all the time, being motivated all the time. And if people see me, I probably cry every single day, at least 2-3 times a week on social media, because I'm live almost every day. Sundays, I'm not live. But 6 days a week, I'm live promoting my business, promoting my life, promoting my story, because I know that I have dynamic stories that are going to change the world. They're going to shift the world. I'm doing Lisa Nichols' program right now, and we're working on a thing she calls the Valley. And the Valley is sharing something in your life that was really, really bad, right? And we all have valleys, but we all have those great moments in our life that we forget about. Do me a favor right now. Type in the chat one thing that you are super stinking proud of about yourself that you did. Maybe it was taking a dog for a walk. Maybe it was writing a book. For me, it was transforming the lives of over 20,000 people in the health and wellness industry. And the way I did that by teaching classes, I would teach, like I told you, about 20 classes a week. I loved it. And when I taught my classes, every single one of my class, there was a moment of inspiration. There was a moment of transformation. After every class, someone would come up to me, Tina, thank you so much for this. So I still can't believe that I had the opportunity of transforming over 20,000 people. And that was just through classes. And that was by sharing my story. Because when you share your story, you kind of open yourself up, right? And you let people know it's okay. So I'm going to read in the chat to see what you guys have done. Those big, great moments. I'm proud of serving nutritious fast foods. Yes, Susana, we need that. Let me tell you, I went to the aquarium today, and they're just trying to kill our children. They're trying to kill us. Doritos, popcorn, hot dogs, like crap. Susana is changing the world. Not only, and if you're in California, Susana, make sure you put your address in there. She has a fast food restaurant called Every Table. And in this place, you can walk in and get a healthy, nutritious meal. My daughter hit me up and she says, Mom, I got my food for the week and it tastes so good. But not only is Susana changing lives with the food, but she's an empowerment coach. She's using her story to empower other women. If I could do this, you can do this too. I see Nina, I did a podcast episode on Monday. What was that about? Tell us. Nina, another one. Eric says, I really like this lady, Tina. Yeah. All righty, Carol, that's the first tip. Check on the people if they're doing something different. We're talking about healthy living, and all I'm doing, peeps, I'm just sharing from me, things that have worked for me, things that have worked for my client. I'm never going to tell you anything I've never done. I'm never going to tell you something that I heard, either I experienced it or my clients experienced or we went through. Healthy living, I just want to live a life of abundance, a life of happiness. And I'm just going to say stop the processed foods, all right? And it's with the mindset. I'm going to put those two together, stop the processed foods, and focus on your mind. Are you that freaking weak that you're going to let okay, I don't want to say that. Take it back, Tina. Take it back. Pretend you didn't hear that, okay? Can you guys do that? Can you pretend you didn't hear that? So we have levels to ourselves, right? So there was this girl named Tina, and I call her Tina 1.0. And Tina 1.0 was kind of rough. She was like, get it right. But I've leveled up, right? I'm a 2.0, sometimes I'm a 5.0. So that was Tina 1.0 back in that said that comment. I'm going to level up to 2.2 and say when it comes to making wrong, not so healthy decisions, use your mindset and level up. You are stronger than that damn Doritos. You are stronger than that honey bun. Do people still eat honey buns? You are faster than that Burger King. Let's get back in the Bible. I don't know the Bible that well, but 40 days and 40 nights, didn't they fast or something like that? Like you got enough fat on your body. You're not going to die if you don't eat in the next hour. Yes, you might get grumpy unless you have like diabetes or something where you need food all the certain hours, but you're not going to die, right? Pause and wait. If you have the food, like right now I have this yogurt I'm supposed to be eating. It's too good. One of the really good yogurts. It has 2 grams of sugar. It's got like 20 protein in it. Not 20, sorry, 12. Have healthy options in your house and pause before you jump down the crazy foods. So if you want to live healthy, you got to make the statement. I don't eat fast food. I don't eat McDonald's. And you may love it, right? And you're making those healthy choices. When I first became vegan, I saw the movie What the Health. What the Health? Go on Netflix, give it a watch. When I saw that, I'd stopped eating pork, I'd stopped eating red meat. But when I saw the movie What the Health, I was like, Lord mercy, I wasn't eating it anymore. All right, that was 8-9 years. And I was I repeat, a horrible vegan. My daughter was in the vegan lifestyle with me. I remember we'd go to, I'm embarrassed to say this, we'd go to Taco Bell and we'd get the bean burritos because we needed food fast, right? It was like vegan. It wasn't animal stuff, but it was still like the processed and all that stuff. But you have to tell yourself. And another thing you can do as well is surround yourself with people. I remember I said to my aunt, I was like, I can't stop eating like this. And she says, Tina, you are a runner. Runners don't eat that way. Runners don't do this. And I was like, yeah, right. Runners don't do this. So put yourself in that state of mind. So very important. She said her episode was about self-care with regards to mental health. Thank you, Susanna. If you're watching this and you get off the plane in California, LAX, you want to go to 111 Hawthorne Boulevard in Inglewood and check out my girl, Susana Cabrera. You like that, right? Okay, I'm going to give you one more tip before we get out of here because it's 6:22 and I still have to practice my speeches and this headache is kicking my head. If you're just popping through, we're talking about healthy living. May 11th, it's going down. It's a Saturday. It's going to be so much fun. Not only the dance is going to be fun, but the information that you're going to get. We're going to give anyone who signs up a free ebook on nutrition. All right. And this ebook is amazing. It was in the makings for at least 3 years. All the things that we've used for ourselves, all the things we've used for our clients, and it's specific for you. You're going to find out what you need for your body type, for your blood type, for your age, because all of these things are important when it comes to eating. So the third thing you want to do with your healthy living to get that going, there's so many things I can say, guys. But I'm going to say I was going to say mindset, but I say before your tribe and leaving it right there. So tip number 3, the tip to strategy. And if anyone wants to add on before we get out of here, who are you surrounding yourself with? You may have to cut some people, or you may have to stop associating with certain people until your mind is strong, right? Once your mind is super strong, then it's easy to get going, to move through. So think about that when you're on this healthy living and spirituality. Are you practicing what you're preaching? I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm going to pause and let my peeps give us some outros out of here. We'll start with Britt Renee, go all the way down. Tell us what you thought about today's topic. If you want to add some value, maybe you have a tip, strategy, something that works for you. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I do this is to change the world. Why? Because I had a lot of traumas happen to my life. If you did not know, my sonny boy, Jamal Gaines, was murdered at the age of 21. I'm going to have Renee speak next. At 21, this man with so much life, so much brilliance, he got murdered in his store. He was living his best life. And that's what I want you to do, is live your best life. So for me, helping the world, changing the world just lets me realize I'm living his legacy. I'm helping out. Renee, talk to me, girlfriend. I see you over there. What's going on in your mind, girlfriend?
So a couple of things jumped out. The whole episode was fine. But 2 things that really stood out is look out for the people who are typically strong, because they are the ones who mask it the most.
Like a clown.
Yes. And the other thing that really, why you're saying all of this, is when you said the 20,000 people, one of them was me. And it is a miracle. For those of you who do not know, we're closing out the show, so I'll just give you a 30-second version. I have had a life of trauma. Different from Tina, but a life of trauma. From the age of 2 to the age of 16, there was repeated, constant sexual abuse. Then I had other issues that I'm still closing off from. I got married at a very early age, and that lasted until a few months ago. I'm still dealing with ramifications of that. But I'm great because I went through your program, And that's what made me emotional. It's a miracle that I'm here and that I'm as strong as I am. But I did not do it alone. And I do not know if I know that you know I'm grateful. But I don't know if you realize how grateful.
She had to take it. Thank you, Renee. And that just lets me realize that I am making a change, because sometimes I want to give up. Sometimes I feel I'm wasting my time. And to hear you say that, really makes me feel good. Welcome to the room, Tyrone. We're talking about healthy living. We're talking about changing the world. And as Renee said, she started as a client. She was in the studio in the back trying to ride the bike, looking like a poor little whatever. And I said, hey, why don't you try this? And she joined my tribe with personal training. She lost the weight and she just clung on. And like we said, it's deeper than the exercise. It's deeper than that. If you're overweight, you're hiding something. Like, I think it was someone who said, when you're eating this food, you think that the food's going to mask the pain. It's going to fix something like that. Before we get out of here, Tyrone, I'd love to hear if you want to share anything. We're talking about healthy living. I shared some tips today, SMART goals when it comes to your eating, your mental state. I said, check on those who aren't, check on the strong people. The second one was stop eating fast food. And the third one, your vibe is your tribe. Would you like to share anything? Guys, Tyrone Poole is one of the hosts on Breakfast with Champion. He's amazing. He played football. I think he's got like a one of those, I don't know sports, but one of those rings. Tyrone, can you please, because I love having you here, share a little bit about you and what you do. And if you have any tips on healthy living, we would love to hear.
Stars, Tina, it's always to be in your presence. But I always enjoy listening to foundational principles that you try to get people to build from. And I believe in principles. I believe that we live different experiences with the principles. But if we can understand and learn the principles of self-care, we use the term your tribe. Some things. Did I just lose you guys?
You're back.
Yeah, this phone is actually tripping on me right now. But it's technology, right? Technology. But I just ended with that right there.
Awesome. Can you give us one? I love it. Can you give us one tip and tell us what you did? And he's one of the hosts on BWC as well, guys, because I want to make sure I'm clear with that.
And what do you want me to say?
One tip that you said that you live by in regards to healthy living, not just for one moment, and what you did. Your accolades, your big high moments.
One thing I will say that I've learned over life from being a professional athlete, being a human being. When I say professional athlete, a human being like it's something that most of the guys dream of doing, right? And so what I've learned is that the student is only as good as the teacher, right? And the teacher.
Oh, that was good.
So, with that right there, I can go on and on all night, but I don't want to take up any more time. I mean, you see, you have to go, you got a headache. I hope your headache is better. But yeah, I hope I catch the next room, and I'll be looking out for your next room. And,
yes.
Definitely jump in at the beginning and add more value.
I love it. And I definitely want to interview you on my morning show. If you're listening, I have a morning show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. It's called the 7 a.m. Cup of Motivation. I would love to get you on. Renee will DM you for your information so we can get you there. But I loved how you said the student is a direct reflection of the teacher, coach, instructor, whatever. And I love that, because if my clients aren't making strides, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not the coach for you, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. Alrighty, family and friends, we are at the top of the hour, bottom of the hour, whatever you want to call it. This is the Healthy Livings Wednesday night 6:30 room. When you come through here, we're going to talk about all things with healthy living, whether it's your mindset, your heart set, your nutrition, your exercise, your spirituality. You're going to get it all. We are pumping up for our May 11th event, which is going to be a workshop in regards to eating. It's going to be a dance class after. Ladies, it's time to get your sexy back. It's time to have that fun. My regular segment on BWC is Friday mornings at 7 a.m. If you click the link at the top, give me some digital currency. Can you do that, Chris? Can you do that, Diana, Nicole, Veronica? Click that link at the top. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And when you do, you get access to some of my classes because I have a virtual studio where you can get classes. I also do coaching one-on-one. And in June, I'm starting my group coaching program. This is something I only do twice a year because I realize it's important to put boundaries. You know, you got to have boundaries. So in June, I'll be starting my group coaching. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, I'll see you 7 a.m., couple motivation, or next week in here at 6:30. Thank you guys for your love, your peace, your happiness. And I want to say peace. Oh, no. Remember one thing. Remember one thing, family. You are amazing. Peace. And a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See ya.